Hey everyone, welcome back to another war video. This one, Season 38, War Number 3, for Loki taking on SSX. You see I have a team of, once again, Spider-Man 2099, Anti-Venom for the Synergy, and I do have White Magneto who's going to see action in one fight. So pretty familiar at this point. I am on Path 2 in both sections. Spider-Man 2099, probably the best option for pretty much all of these Path 2 fights. So you see I have a Longshot here. I did place my first White Magneto pre-fight. This is because this node has it's basically like a limber node. I put it on here kind of as a safety net. You know, with Spider-Man 2099, ideally you want to be pounding into the block, kind of pushing him up to the special that way, getting him over a bar of power, and then kind of baiting out the specials from there. So you don't really have to parry. You can see, though, got him over that first bar special. I also, Longshot in particular, I don't like punishing his special one. It's just always feels a little bit too far away, and he's pretty quick out of it, so I never punish it, especially in war. But you can see here I'm about to push him over another bar of power. The ruptures burst, and he goes down pretty easy. So easy work for Spider-Man 2099. This next node is Korg. I'm going to again place a guidance boost from White Magneto. I'm going to use White Magneto in this one. So this node has Combat Deja Vu, Placebo, and then Nullify Countdown. So basically this is just a standard Korg fight. He doesn't benefit anything from the node. So White Magneto, pretty good Korg counter. Korg has decreased energy resistance. All of White Magneto's basic attacks are energy, so especially with the White Magneto pre-fight, I can always make sure to parry. I want to make sure that I'm throwing, I want to stick the special 1 because the special 2 puts on a bleed, which is pretty useless to bleed immune Korg, and it puts on an armor break, which can help with the damage. Korg has some pretty high crit resistance, so White Magneto, I also, because I've now placed 2 White Magneto pre-fights, I'm down to 2 persistent charges, which means I'm not going to get as many prowess. But you can see I'm ignoring the nodes because they're not really doing anything. Pretty standard, like I said, Korg fight. It's just a matter of, you know, hit him more than he hits you. Right here, though, I threw the special 3 a tad too early. So I hit him, thought I got off the last hit of the shield. I didn't. So Korg has basically, it's like a safety mechanic against special 3s if he has any of his rock shield still up. He did have 1 up while I threw that, so it severely capped the damage. But it did give me a cruelty buff. So White Magneto, I know you don't really get to see a special 3 all that often, but it gives him a cruelty buff, which pauses all prowess that you had when you threw it. So it's, you know, nice to have, but still, you know, I pushed past the special 2, didn't want to throw the special 2, so I figured I'd throw the special 3, and then threw the special 3 at the wrong time. So you can see this is not a difficult fight. You know, it's really just making sure I don't get clipped by any of Korg's unblockable, if I dex too much, and just making sure I'm throwing specials at the right time. But you can see there, White Magneto took a little bit of time, but handled the fight pretty well. So that'll be it for him. 3 more fights in this war, and they're all going to be Spider-Man 2099. So you can see I'm on Path 2 here in Section 2. I have a Rintrah on this node. So I think in a previous video I said that if I knock them down, they get a Fury buff, but actually if I knock them down, I get a Fury buff. So I can use that to my advantage, but, you know, this is the second time I fought Rintrah in 2 wars, both on similar nodes. Like I said, I want to keep him out of his corner, and I want to make sure that I'm knocking him down if his mystical charges get too high. So that time I threw a heavy. He was a little close to the corner, but it turned out to be all right. I dexed the last part of that special 1. So you can see that Rintrah does get the power gain because I'm still technically... It's a weird interaction where even though Spider-Man is buff immune, he's still preventing the buff with neutralize. I don't know how that's supposed to work, but is what it is. You can see that I kind of got back to the middle of the map. I have 2 withers on, so you can see Rintrah going down pretty easy here. He's pretty close to his corner, but I have 17 ruptures, so I'm just going to let them do the rest of the work, and Rintrah drops with little real issue. So next fight is the next fight on the path, which is Mordo. I'm going to place my last guidance boost from White Magneto. I also placed one on the Rintrah just in case, because I felt like Rintrah can always be a little bit iffy. But this node has Again, the placebo is an EMP modification, so it doesn't, Spider-Man turns off the node directly. That means it's just a straight up Mordo fight. With White Magneto, I can always parry and punish that. So it's really just typical Spider-Man 2099 trying to get a whole bunch of ruptures, push him over a bar of power. I also had a Power Start 1 that I forgot to mention last time. So the Power Start 1 is going to get me through Rintrah, you can see there with Mordo, and it is still on here for this last fight, which is Mangog. So Mangog is pretty much a staple here on node 54. Scorpion kind of took over a lot of the heavy lifting. Scorpion and Magic a lot last season with Spider-Man Blacklisted, but with Spider-Man back, he is the best option for this node. He's just a really strong Mangog counter. He can really counter the power gain that he gets from the node. This has an unblockable special 2. Mangog special 2, very punishing if he gets to it, but Spider-Man really able to keep that power in check. So for this fight, typical Spider-Man 2099, just the only caveat here is I don't want him to get to a special 2. So I throw my own special 2, which puts on the second Wither, which is really going to help. I then dex that last part of the special 1. So at this point, he's at 7 of his hatred. When he gets to 10, he gets really annoying. He gets unstoppable, and he can be unblockable, and he gets, you don't want Mangog to get to 10 charges, and he gets it if he finishes a combo, or if you finish a 5 combo, or if he finishes a 5 combo, or when he throws a special 1. So the downside of having to throw so many special ones or having to bait his special ones is you can get to it. You can see I dashed back a little early there, but it ends up helping me because it helps me. He builds up a little bit of power. I then hit him, get him over a bar, and the ruptures burst, and that's that. So overall, pretty clean war for me. 5 fights. I was able to solo all of them, so that gets me to 15 on the season. Still no deaths as of yet, so that's nice, and my streak is up to 28. In terms of the war itself, we did drop this one. Good war to SSX. A little bit more of a rough start for us, 1 and 2 to start the season. Hopefully we can turn it around here as we head into the next week of wars. But that'll do it for this one. Hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching, and I will see everyone soon.